Have you ever questioned, do you also need mathematics to make a video game? Well, if you want to know the answer, enjoy and keep watching. This video will seek to answer why do I need mathematics in video games, which also it may not seem like it in itself exists a very close relationship. Also, we'll show some of the application of mathematics for the elaboration and development of the video game Roblox. In order to start, we have to know what is mathematics.
Mathematics is a science that doesn't only study the nature of numbers. They were designed to be applied, and their value becomes more apparent. Today, they are used around the world. Surely, many people throughout their preparation have asked how they will use those classes, since they will lawyers, musicians, or journalists. Also, at first, it does not leave an obvious use. Mathematics helps to develop abstract thinking and the optimization of different problems. You have probably heard of video games. A video game is an interactive digital entertainment that people play via a diapositive. Also, many people are not aware it was mathematics at all times.
But there are extremely complex algorithms and formulas. There are a million different kinds of video games, and basically mathematical application involve their entire process. Science people don't know knowledge of this, just say everything is a video game without knowing the part that make it up. It is confusing, even for those who specialize in this topic or this you will call gamer. However, you can find how to use recent academic works to approach new design methods and know more about the video games world. Let's see a little how.
Numbers are the foundation of mathematics. There are many different types of them. With a mixture of numbers and letters, we can develop the different equations and algorithms that detail the creation, action, and movements of the video game and characters. In the video games, we can use state variables. Much of the data in the video games is simple operation like addition and subtraction. This data shown in the HUDs change according to the various actions in the game or in the final result. For example, if the fire, then the bullet container decreases because for every shot the number of bullets is equal to the number of bullets minus 1. Those are other cases. A coordinate represents a single point using number lines as rules to measure the distance from the bottom left corner to the screen. The first line is called X, which runs from left to right. Second is called Y, which runs up and down. When we write down these coordinates, we always put the X before the Y, like this, meaning that the X coordinate is 200 and the Y coordinate is 50. One of the basic areas of video games and animation is designing 3D images on a computer using mathematical formulas. The place where the objects are located and the location where the character is in reference to those objects. Even in basic 2D games, the math is what tells the game if the character jumped off a solid platform or fell into a hole. Another area is the design of world physics. Regardless of whether the game world is simple or complicated, there are always physics that must be applied.
If a player presses the jump button, the height the character will reach must be determined. If a soccer ball is kicked, it cannot follow a straight path, so the programmer must apply the necessary algorithms to decide the direct speed of gravity, etc. Geometry is about shapes and their properties. In video games, it is closely related to the design of the world. The two most common themes are plane geometry, that deals with the flat shapes that can be drawn on a piece of paper, solid geometry, that deals with the objects, and three-dimensional space, that is the space in which we live. In many games, everything is formed from the mixture and combination of three-dimensional figures, polyhedra and not polyhedra.
This also involves some other topics, as volume, angles, trigonometry, etc. With all this information, you are able to create whatever you want. This was a brief explanation about how maths can be found in video games, but now we are going to analyze them by playing in Roblox. Do you know Roblox? It's a video game created to play in multiplayer where you can design an avatar, create and play your creations. Well, this game is full of mathematics. In Roblox, with a mix of numbers and letters, create emotes that are small codes that allow the character to perform an action. To use these commands, write in the chat, /e, leave a space and put the name of the mode. For example, eat dance. We can find state variables in the charts that show the number of lives, score, number of coins, or money called Robux.
Those are great examples that use some of the basic operations like sum and subtraction. As you can see, every player has these variables at the right top of their screen. Roblox use coordinate to represent a character's position on a screen, and depending on how a character moves, their position might change along the x-axis, the y-axis, or both. Players often use this to identify where they are located, where something is or someone. Roblox involves a lot of world design because players explore 3D world. The images that the players sees from the character passing from the stage to the enemies and obstacles are made up of the mix of polygons and 3D figures like these buildings. This boy with the mixture of cubes and cuboids of different sizes is building a whole tower, while the avatar is made of a sphere and cuboids.
According to your taste, you can create anything. In Roblox, we can find some physics for the different actions that the players may be doing. For example, if they fall down, the programmer must apply the necessary algorithms to decide the drag speed or gravity like in this video. In Roblox, geometry forms part of basically everything, since all the environment and characters are formed for the mixtures and combination of three-dimensional figures, polyedra and not polyedra. Polyedra involves all the figures that must have flat faces like prisms and pyramids, while the non-polyedra are the ones that any surface is not flat like spheres and cone. Can be also changed by volume, thickness, height, etc. as you wish.
Now it's your turn. Feel free to experiment new forms of designing video games. You have seen that many techniques using game programming have a basis in the math you learn at school. You can use this knowledge to extrapolate other ways of doing video games. Never forget, in games, it is the end result that counts, not the accuracy of the underlying model. Math is just another tool to help you get the result you want. This was a brief explanation, but with this in mind, feel free to experiment with new and different ways of making objects move because why should be restricted by the mundane contents of reality? Your imagination can be so much more fun and don't have limits. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it.